First, let's pay homage to the lineage gurus. Homage to the Venerable Monk Liao Ming. Homage to Master Sakya Zeng Kong. Homage to the 16th Dharma King Karmapa. And homage to Master Thupten Tarji. Homage to the three jewels of the altar. And homage to the main deity of the ceremony today, Manohara Vasudhara, the red Manohara Vasudhara. Simu Thupten Siddhi Rinpoche, all Dharma masters, Dharma educators, Dharma teachers, Dharma lecturers, Dharma assistants, directors of temples and chapters, and all disciples present here and over the internet. And our participating VIPs today are the Chief Secretary to the Taiwan government, Mr. Zheng Peifu and Madam, and the academician from Academia Sinica, Professor Zhu Siyi and Madam, and the law advisor to Trivida School, Mr. Lu Wenxiang, and Trivida School Scholars Group and the Medical Group, and the General Manager of the Jingyi Enterprise, Ms. Zhang Yizhen, American Fuchs Technical Company CEO, Mr. Lin, and the rep to the Tainan City Council, and the president of the Worldwide Lotus Light Charity Society, and the producer for the Great Perfection Dharma, Havaja Exposition and Development Stages of Tantrayana, Master Lian Yue. And host Dharma Sister Peiju. And the host to Lamdre and the Sutra of Perfect Enlightenment, Master Lian Hai. Producers from CTI TV Taiwan for the program Giving Tenzang Shinto Illuminating Your Heart, Dharma Sister Rebecca Siachi. My sister, Miss Lu Seng-Mei, Miss Lu Guo-yin. Good afternoon, everyone. How do you do? Thank you, everybody. Thank you for coming. Hope you are all well. Today we perform the red Manohara Vasudhara Dharma. That's the wealth attracting goddess. When I was forming the mudra, when I turned the Vajra hook, she descended. It was extremely wonderful. It was remarkable. And it's raining today. And we often say that water is money. That the water is like the raindrops. So if you get in the rain, then you will become rich. When Grandmaster went out, I got some rain, some tiny raindrops, and I was very pleased. So like 10 million per drop. So as we know, the mudra for Manohara is the Vajra hook. So the Vajra hook mudra there is a tip or a trick to invoke her to descend. You need to turn the Vajra hook left, right, and left, and right, and left, and right 3 times. When you form her mudra and you turn 3 times, then you can touch the heart of Manohara, and then she would descend. When I performed the practice earlier, I used the Vajra hook to turn 3 times. So it's your mudra that's turning. And you're visualizing the Vajra hook turning 3 times. So you visualize the Vajra hook of Manohara turning 3 times. And your mudra has to turn 3 times as well. The mudra is like this. That's the trick for Manohara. That's the key formula, that your mudra has to turn 3 times, and you have to visualize the Vajra hook of Manohara is also turning 3 times. That's the tip. And just now, by doing that, Manohara descended upon my body. Is wealth important? Yes. It is important, but the primary supplicants today were not too few, but kind of medium. So which meant that we are half spiritual, half materialistic. And both are important. In Tantric Buddhism, it mentioned two stages. One is development stages and the other one is the perfection stage. And I have said that before the sixth ground of bodhisattvahood, that's development stages. And after the sixth ground of bodhisattvahood, that's the perfection stage. Because after the sixth ground, that's the ground of appearance, which meant that your Buddha nature and your yidam will appear in front of you. Then you understand what Buddha nature is about, that you have seen the path, but that doesn't mean that you have attained the path, and that's called the ground of appearance. After you see the path, you perform the practice, and that's called the perfection stage. And before seeing the path, what you practice is called the development stage. So in development stage, in tantric spiritual cultivation, is the path of merit accumulation, the path of preliminary practices, and the yidam practice, or the deity yoga. These three are considered the development stages. And after that, it's called the perfection stage. After you see the path, the spiritual cultivation is called the perfection stage. And the seventh ground is the gone afar. So like if we leave Taichung to Taoyuan, we are traveling a great distance, but this is not called the gone afar ground yet. If you go or you leave for United States or Australia or Europe or Africa, so a faraway places, then we would call the ground of traveling far. So from Taichung to Taoyuan, how long will it take? By the high-speed rail, 35 minutes. That's not it's not traveling far, it's still traveling near. Even to Taipei, it's only 1 hour. But if you a faraway distance from the samsara and you have gone beyond the development stages, in Buddhism the seventh ground is called the ground of traveling far. That you have the vision of going far. That's the seventh ground of bodhisattvahood. But in the development stages, you need to increase your virtues and merits, like never do any evils. That's by abiding by the precepts, that you do goods, you always do good things, performing charities. And by doing those, you are in the development stages. And the last one is purify your mind, and that's the perfection stage. We are in samsara. We always talk about money, money, money. You know, in the puppet show, there's the money coming, or lots of money. That's the name of the characters in the puppet show. Money coming, lots of money. You don't watch the puppet show? They all talk about money, money, money. So in the human world, we need money. We need economy is important. If you have money, you have resources, then you can do good. You can perform charity. Like now, for the Tzu Chi Foundation, they are doing charity. That's the path of merit accumulation, so that we are endowed with ample resources, lots of money to perform goods. Sometimes in the human world, there's a difference. In the ancient path, the teachers, the farmers, the engineers, and then the businessmen, the traders are last. So the traders or businessmen were listed last. Now the traders and businessmen are listed first. Look at Jack Ma. We all know about Ma Yun or Jack Ma. But the one that is first in examination, nobody knew him. But talking about Jack Ma, everybody knows. When we talk about Bill Gates, everybody knows him. Everybody knows Bill Gates. We all know the world's richest man or the Taiwan richest man. Like during my era, everybody knows about Wang Yongqing. And you may not know the president of any country or the president of Nigeria. Nobody knows. I don't know. You don't know. So the president of Iceland, if you know, please raise your hand. So you call the popsicle or the ice pop as the president of Iceland? Come on. Now let me ask you, who's the president of Norway? Or the president of Kenya? Or let me ask a rather famous one, the president of Israel. You should know, right? If you know, please raise your hand. The president or the prime minister of Israel? Nobody knows. Because I'm asking for the not so famous countries. I don't understand what you're talking about. Of course, it's easy. You can just check on your cell phone, on the internet. But in reality, you don't know the presidents. But for the rich businessman, everybody knows. So the world has turned upside down. So that's why, let me tell you, that money is important, very important. It will make you famous too. Look at the politician. And they're imprisoned. They are imprisoned because of money. And there's the song that sound like money, but actually it's like stomping. Stomp. In reality, in the development stages, money is important. And I hope that every spiritual cultivator would have money. There's a mudra, visualization, that she was emanated from the heart of Amitabha Buddha, the red Manohara Vasudhara. And she has her image, very young. Her right hand is holding the Vajra hook, and her left hand is holding the treasure spewing mouse. So, and the mantra. And in our Dharma Laksana, what does TBSN mean? Oh, that's the True Buddha Foundation's website. And who is Yang Jing Zoma that compiled it? That's the name of a Tibetan. How come we have a Tibetan disciple? It's a pen name, Yang Jing Zoma. So many. Zoma is like grandma. It sounds like grandma in Taiwanese. And the mantra is rather long. You can memorize it and form the Vajra hook and visualize the Manohara and follow my tip. Turn the hook 3 times and pray to her. And she's an emanation of Amitabha's heart. Because the Western paradise, Amitabha's Pure Land, is a very luxurious and a very opulent place. Because Manohara hook all the best from all over the places to the Western paradise. The 8 meritorious water, the 7 jeweled trees, and the net of pearls and gold, ground of gold, and palaces of 7 precious jewels. So among all the Pure Lands, the richest one is Manohara. And she is the greatest and the richest wealth deity in Pure Lands. It's much better than the wealth deity on earth. So by practicing this deity, it's the same as you've gone to the Pure Land. That it's the same as attaining yogic union with Amitabha Buddha. Once you gain yogic union with this deity, you are in yogic union with the Buddha. So this is the wealth deity, the greatest wealth deity of the Pure Land caliber. This is the highest. Today, let's continue to talk about Lamdre. The practitioners of the body mandala or yoga. Body mandala is extremely important, which is to transform your body to become the altar of all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas and all deities. In the past, we have performed the practice of Kuan Yin Bodhisattva's protection from calamities. Do you remember? There was a person who paint or draw a tanka of this Kuan Yin protection from calamities. And that person was Master Lian Han. So, Kuan Yin's body mandala for protection from calamities. So he drew the mandala of that Dharma practice. And these few days, Master Lian Han came to bother me and made me lose sleep. He's gone to the Buddha land. So I asked him, why are you still minding business in the human world? Why don't you just go to the Buddha land? Like the Christian minister or the father in Catholic Church. He had to often decide during the funeral, let dust return to dust. Let spirit return to the spirit. May God lead the spirit, and may dust return to dust. So I told Master Lian Han, now you've belonged to the spirit world, you should just go to the Buddha land. Why are you keep nagging me? Why? Why do you keep nagging me? So I prayed to Golden Mother to guide Master Lian Han to leave the human world, to lead him to the Western paradise. He still had attachment. About what? You know? Money, money, money. So he's still attached about his house. His house. His house. He bothered me for about a week. Finally, last night, it got quiet. He didn't bother me again. I told him, please let dust return to dust. Let the souls return to the spirits. Please don't worry about the matters of the dust. You should have gone to the Buddha lands. So Golden Mother brought him to the Buddha land. And today, only today, I knew that yesterday he entered into the columbarium here at the temple. And only last night I got to sleep well. And I was wondering, I usually sleep really well. How come these few days I don't sleep quite well? Was it because of the ghosts of X? No. And then later on, I knew it turned out to be Master Lian Han. He was bothering me for a few days. And he told me, this should have gone to this person, and that should have gone to that person, and that and that. And he kept nagging me. You know, come on, I don't even know how much you have. Why you keep telling me what should go to whom? Why are you still worried about this? Let it go. Go, just go to the Buddha land. And eventually, I got my sleep back last night. And today someone told me that Master Lian Han had gone into the columbarium. So maybe then he's got his peace now. So, performing the practice of the body mandala or yoga, one need to first perfect all the branches of contemplation. So you need to master meditation first. So only when your meditation is perfect, then you can practice the body mandala. Then you observe or visualize your own sit syllable at the heart area emitting light. That at the lotus, at the heart chakra, you need to remember the sit syllable of your yidam. Like today for Manohara, her sit syllable is Ri. That's Ri. So the sit syllable at the heart emit light to invoke the Vajraheruka to appear in front of us in the sky, which is no different from the Guru. Vajraheruka. So that's the Vajra deity. Or you can also visualize your own yidam in front of you, or your own lineage root guru in front of you, or your root protector right in front of you. So right in front of us in the sky, which is no different whatsoever from your lineage root guru. And the way to practice, first you need to master meditation first. And you need to make offering. There is an outer offering, inner offering, secret offering, and the offering of true suchness, which is according to the outer tantra, inner tantra, secret tantra, and the topmost secret tantra to make offering. So outer offering is the tangible offerings. Inner offerings, the offering of light drops and inner fire, and secret offerings is the offering of the secret chakra, and the offering of true suchness is the offering of wisdom and the Buddha's wisdom. Making intense prostrations with all earnestness, you also have to make prostrations. And then you invoke the Vajraheruka from the sky to merge, to enter into our bodies. Like bringing a lamp into a dark room, the whole body mandala is lit up. Like when the whole room is dark, without light, and you bring light into the darkness, then the whole room will be lit up. When Vajraheruka enters into your body was dark, but as soon as he enters into you, then your body will be lit up, and inside your body will be bright and illuminated. Also, while relying on the observation of the luminosity, first one does the protection. So when performing the body mandala practice, first you need to do the protection. You protect yourself and you protect your practice. And you visualize at the tip of the crown all kinds of scepters. So there are lots of scepters at the tip of the crown. And at the soles of your feet, there would be Vajra foundation. Remember, Vajra foundation at the soles, and Vajra walls at the ribs. So the ribs become Vajra walls. So at the tip of the crown, Vajra scepters, the soles of the feet, Vajra foundation, the ribs, Vajra walls, and the skin is the Vajra net and parasol. Net, Vajra net, tent or parasol. Your bodily hair becomes a net of arrows shooting out, and the fingers and nails becoming flaming fire. And in the palace of supreme capacity, the wind is, the soles of the feet is wind. The meeting of the three places, which is 4 finger width below the navel, is the fire. And the abdomen is water. The heart is earth. The spine is the Mount Sumeru. And the body mandala is square. So the heaven is round, the earth is square. The heaven is round, the earth is square, and I command with the 9 command. What? So the heavens is round and the earth is square. So the mandala is like that, the same with the sand mandala. So in 9 commands, wishing for peace and health. So wind, the soles of the feet is wind, and the meeting of the 3 place or the 4 finger width below the navel is the fire or inner fire or tumo, and the abdomen belongs to the water, the heart belongs to the earth element, and the spine becomes Mount Sumeru, and the body mandala is square. And at the heart there are 4 gates and 4 channels. Why 4 gates? See? At each tanka there are 4 gates, north, south, east and west. And the 8 limbs as the 8 pillars. So the pillars inside the palace. So like the 2 arms with the joints, so there are 4 parts. And then at the knees there are also 4 parts of the legs, joints. And there are 2 joints on the shoulders, at the elbows, at the joints and at the ankles. So they become the 8 pillars. So like the pillars here, right? To build the palace, to build the body mandala. The eyes as the 5 color eaves. What are the eyes? That the Taiwan temple has the eaves. So the eyes have the eaves. And on top of our Taiwan temple, there are monkeys on top of the eaves. How many of them? They were carved on it. How many? 9. Right. The Forbidden Palace of Beijing, China. There were also several monkeys on top of it. And if you go to Korea, on top of the eaves there are also monkeys. So Korea follows the tradition of China. So of course Korea is like China's. See, behind the Forbidden Palace there was a hill, but also the palace in Korea is also the same. So, and also the eaves of the Korean palace also has has monkeys on it. You can observe and pay attention next time you go. The eyes are the 5-color eaves, and the nose is the precious center eve. The teeth as the jewels, or like beads. And the lips and tongue are the merits of marvelous desire and pleasures, and the ears are the memorial arch, like the arch. And sometimes you can say that there are parasols on the side, and below it there are arches. So, like this two, like ribbons. That's like the banners drooping down. So everything about the mandala is illuminated, and the body mandala appears. So this is the method to practice body mandala. You transform your own body to become a mandala. That's body mandala. And of course at the center is your yidam, your lineage root guru, and haruka. No difference. They're all at the center of your mandala. Heaven is round, the earth is square. So at the center of the heaven there is a palace, and at the center there is a primary Dharma throne, and seated there is your lineage root guru or your root guru, which is also your root yidam, which is also your root protector. So that's what the 3 roots are about, and that's the method of practicing body mandala. Now you know, right? How to practice the body mandala. See, the bodily hair becomes arrows shooting out. Once you practice the body mandala, then it's the same that you have protection wheel. Any bad energy or spirit coming in, then you shoot the arrow out. And there are the 4 guardians at the 4 gates. We talk about the 5 herukas. At the center is your main or the root heruka, and then the remaining 4 herukas at the 4 gates protecting you, or as guardians. and the yidam is seated at the center. When you perform the practice of body mandala, your whole body becomes mandala or altar. In Tantrayana, like the Tanka or Sand Mandala, or the Sanskrit, the character mandala, or the setup of the shrine or altar with the yidam at the center and then the protectors on the surrounding it, or the altars at home, and how you practice your body to become mandala. And there are many deities who have affinity with you are placed inside your body mandala. So that's the most important dharma in Tantrayana, the body mandala. I have taught about the body mandala before, right? The earth, water, fire, wind and space, and the transformation of Kuan Yin Bodhisattva, and then you become Kuan Yin Bodhisattva inside the body mandala. So that's the Kuan Yin body mandala protection from all calamities. If you often perform the practice of this body mandala, you can free yourself from all kinds of disasters, calamities, and invasions from the evil and spirits, bad spirits. So these few days, Grandmaster did not sleep well. So I thought perhaps I will leave the world at 73. So it turned out it was Master Lian Han. So he's one of us. So he can come and go as he likes. Doesn't matter how you perform the protection, because he knows about my protection too. So all he had to say is that I'm a master and I'm a disciple of Grandmaster Lu. So Akalanata and Mahakala would let him in. And he could forge in through the Vajra net, because he's my own disciple and he's one of the close disciples early on. He took refuge long ago. When I was still in Taiping at the Jingwu Villa, before I even went to America, he had taken refuge in me. So he came and told me, please give this part to this and that part to that. And I told him, I don't know about any of those. I don't know what I should tell him, but I told him, this doesn't belong to you anymore. It's not in the same realm as you are. Doesn't matter whether it's fair or not. You should not worry about it at all. They should just follow their own destiny. They will get whatever they're supposed to get. You need not worry about it at all. Just let it go. A female judge was in prison. And said, the accused, I've met you 7 times. You know, I've seen you 7 times here. Isn't that really shameful? And the accused replied, but you have not been promoted for this long, so it's not my mistake. Some people didn't even know that they're wrong or they've made a mistake. But there's some people who knows that they're wrong, but they still want to make excuses. I finally knew a secret. These few days, the white Tara appeared. And I asked her a question. Oh, white Tara, the Buddha Mother with 7 eyes, I would like to ask you, why ex-Dharma teaching is really attractive. So many people love to listen to her talk. And you know what the white Tara answered? Don't you know? That's copying. Plagiarism. All her lies about transcendent power, they're all just copying yours. Really? I said. And white Tara replied, remember. She said, in Kamano Island in Washington State, USA, I was throwing the Dragon King vase to the sea there, and the 8 great Dragon Kings appeared. The waves, on the huge waves, and the 8 great Dragon Kings took refuge in me. And X too. And she exaggerated. Not only the 8 Dragon Kings, but all the Dragon Kings took refuge in her. So she just copied you. Okay, what else? Didn't you have the master cat? Like a master who became a cat that came to us. We didn't know where it came about or where it went. And so she had a chameleon. So she copied. See, but her stories about her chameleon was much more than my cat. So she exaggerated. And white Tara also said, you have a rainbow villa, which is for the baby spirits. So the villa for the baby spirits, right? Yes. Let me tell you. The spirit school and all the baby spirits who are studying at her spirit school, just copying the baby spirits at your rainbow villa. And she exaggerated even more. And her baby spirits had to take tests and then send reports to their parents. So the living parents have to receive the report cards of the baby spirits of the spirit world. So I asked her, anything more? Yes, of course. See, you went to Mount Wu-Tai and you met Manjushri Bodhisattva who emanated as a monk. And she did too. She went to Mount Wu-Tai too. And she met an elder nun, and she also claimed that that was an emanation of Manjushri Bodhisattva. And then she met a lady who was in the same elevator as she was, and also claimed that that was an emanation of Manjushri Bodhisattva. So that's also copying you. And then you went to Dharamsala and met the Dalai Lama. And then she went to Qinghai, Gansu, and met like a living Buddha of China. And they're all just with the same topic. She just plagiarized everything. All her lies and games were just based on yours, and then she exaggerated and added things to it. Oh my gosh. And then she said, you talk to the master cat. So she made it so that she could talk to all animals. So now she fabricated that she could talk to all animals, whether they're flying or crawling or swimming. And she had an article that she went to a temple in Hawaii, and all the fish took refuge in her. In Grandmaster. This Grandmaster went there. And then she claimed that all the fish, all the birds, everything took refuge in her, that she could communicate with them. Everything was plagiarism, and then she exaggerated and then added things to it. But I told White Tara, but whatever that happened to me was real and truthful. But she faked it, and her faking it sounded better and seemingly more truthful. And White Tara said, on earth, when there is the real ones, there are also the fake ones. You know, when you have a real diamond, sometimes it would crack when it hit a certain thing. But the fake diamond is even brighter, and it doesn't matter how you smash it, it stays intact. And more, and more. No need to mention it. If you pay attention, everything that she said came from Grandmaster. They're all copies. And after copying, she made a habit of it, and then she fabricated, exaggerated, fabricated. And what White Tara said, really, I had the master cat and she had the chameleon. And I went to Dharamsala and she went to Qinghai. Yeah. I went to Mount Wutai and met Manjushri Bodhisattva, and she did too. And she even fabricated lots of stories surrounding it. That she claimed that she was the teacher of the Emperor Sun Tzu. that she met Emperor Sun Tzu, and she claimed that the Emperor Sun Tzu had been waiting for her for how many years? The Qing dynasty, that was 500 years ago? Well, about 500 years. That's what she claimed. Oh, Amitabha. You know, the emperor's teacher was the national teacher, Yiling. You know, he's actually now at the Medicine Buddha's Pure Lamp of the Eastern realm of Lapis Lazuli light. But she claimed that she was that person. That the younger sister asked the biggest brother, "You're one that's most." Oh, this is a play of Chinese. And the same. This is a play of word of Chinese, which means completely. So she make all excuses for everything that she does. So Liao Hechun, where are you? Right there. So you also suffered greatly from her, right? Yes. But she denied everything. She denied everything completely. So he's Liao Hechun from the Hualien Center. And he went to San Francisco. And upon coming back, they still suffer from the effect of it. I'll give you blessings, okay? It's good that you come here. It's good that you come back. A kindergarten teacher asked the little girl, "What is your mom doing?" And the little girl replied indignantly, "Well, she's doing business. And how about your dad?" And the girl was thinking and thinking, "Oh, he's doing whatever mom asked him to do." So be careful. Think about it. The lineage root guru, has the lineage root guru asked you to do something? Has the lineage root guru ever asked a person to do this or to do that? Everything, you are on your own. You just learn Buddha Dharma, and then you're in charge of yourself. So you take care of yourself. You're in charge of yourself. Grandmaster never tells you to do this and to do that and to do that. But X is completely different. X would tell her followers to do this and to do that. To anybody offering hatha to her, she would tell them, "Now you have to do this." And all this is to benefit herself or to benefit the center of the ghost. An old person doesn't feel good and went to the hospital. And the doctor asked the old man, "Please check your blood and the urine and your feces." And then he went to the toilet, and then he came back and said, actually it's test, but he thought it's to swallow. It's okay to swallow the blood and the pee, but it's hard to swallow the poo. That's a misunderstanding. In our Buddhist studies, please don't misunderstand. Please don't misunderstand the body mandala. Lay your body down and visualize. In your meditation, you visualize your yidam to enter into your body, and you're very lucid. And the sand mandala that you see, until you see the sand mandala, until you see the body mandala. The heaven is round, the earth is square, and at the center of the heaven is the palace. And when Master Lien Yue set up or built the mandala of Mahotara Heruka, is also following this. It's not very easy to build the mandala of Mahotara Heruka. So she just used the simplified version. But the true Mahotara Heruka mandala is extremely complex and intricate. There were several levels, not just one level. There are many dimensions, embellished with gold, silver, and precious jewels, extremely ornate and marvelous. So the true mandala is very difficult to set up. The teacher asked Xiaoming, "Can you swim?" Xiaoming replied, "No." And the teacher said, "Even the dogs can swim, so you're worse than the dogs." That's wrong of the teacher to speak like that. And then Xiaoming replied, "So teacher, can you swim?" And the teacher replied, "Yes, of course." "Then you're the same as the dogs." So please be careful when you talk. Xiaoming is very smart. Another joke about Xiaoming. The Chinese language teacher asked, "I like you," and add one character, and the meaning will be reversed. Let's add, "I don't like you." That would be really bad. And another student replied, "I had liked you before. I had liked you." That meant that he doesn't like her anymore, or you anymore. And Xiaoming was the smartest, and he said, "I like your mom." So he told the daughter, "I like your mom." So words, like in the development stages of Tantrayana, you can't add one character or delete one character. Do you know the words of the sages? There are many sutras of the Sakyamuni Buddha. So it's not proper to add a letter, add a word, or delete a word. Then it will change the meaning. So whatever we do, or when Grandmaster gives teachings, we cannot be ambiguous. So, for the Dharma, you have to remember exactly. You cannot miss or add something. Like when Grandmaster recite the Hiking Guan Yin Sutra, it cannot miss one character or add one character, and each of the characters would be imprinted on the mind, and I would be mindful of each of the deities of the Buddhas. It has to be exact. If there is a small thought coming in, I would be aware of it. Then I would let it go immediately. Pay. I have to be really perfect and complete in my recitation. In your Dharma practice, it's the same. If you can complete the Dharma practice perfectly, with no shortcomings or no faults. If there are faults, then you can recite the 100 syllable mantra 3 times. You know, sometimes when we incant Buddha's name or recite the mantra or recite the sutra, maybe there are thoughts coming in, or there would be something missing. So you feel like there is no weighing in the Dharma because there are so many distractive thoughts or running thoughts during your practice. And what should you do? You should recite 100 syllable mantra 3 times to complete it, to repair it. So when we perform Homa, we also recite 100 syllable mantra 3 times, is to make up for all the missing parts or the faults of our practice. If one day you can recite the Hiking Guan Yin Sutra completely and perfectly, that each of the characters is imprinted on your brain, and each of the Buddhas and deities appear in front of you, then only then it would be called perfect. So in our study in meditation, we should not allow any thoughts coming in, because then there would be a fault. But if there's a thought arising, don't go into panic. You just repair it by reciting 100 syllable mantra, or you restart your recitation. I recited in Taiwanese. So when we recite that, each of the characters imprinted in the brain, and all the Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas appear. So with any faults or problems, then you recite the 100 syllable mantra. The husband told the wife, tomorrow night I would invite my colleagues to come home for dinner. And the wife replied, I haven't taken care of I haven't cleaned up for a year, and I haven't gone to the market for 3 months, and I haven't washed the dishes, and I don't know how to cook. And the husband replied, yes, I know. Then why did you invite him for dinner at home? Well, because my colleague always wants to get married. So Is it good to be married? Is it good not to be married? Those inside the walls strive to jump out, and those outside the walls strive to jump in. The smartest one become a monk. Whatever we do, don't be so stubborn. One day, Xiaobai went fishing, didn't get anything. The second day, he went fishing again and didn't get anything. The third day, when he got there, there was a huge fish jumping from the river, and he cried out. Oh, the fish cried out, if you use the carrot as bait again, then I will kill you. I will beat you to death. So please don't be so stubborn in your mistakes and always think that you're right. Sometimes we make mistakes too. Even Grandmaster makes mistakes. So if you make mistakes, admit it. And mistakes sometimes have great effect. I really feel sorry for True Buddha disciples. I apologize to True Buddha disciples that inadvertently X stood up. But I didn't see anybody else stand up. The one that I asked to stand up did not stand up. And the one that were not supposed to stand up stood up. At that time, I should have been decisive and said that, well, just forget it. Then I could have saved many people from disasters. But I thought that's because someone wanted it, let her try. Maybe, but that was a mistake, and I harmed many disciples because of it. And now I repent to the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. I repented to the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. And they replied, everything is fate. It's not because of you. Her coming it's like you will only have attainment when you surpass this challenge. I really feel sorry to many disciples who have suffered because of her. I really apologize from the depth of my heart.
我应该对我们生活中的弟子，所有的弟子说
I should say sorry to all True Buddha disciples, especially to the many suffering disciples. I should also repent that I wrongly recognize a master. Wrongly confirm a master.
我向生活中的弟子抱歉，而且向
I apologize to all true Buddha disciples and to all sentient beings.
我跟大家赔个不是。
I apologize. 对呀。
我们全体跪下来，感恩师尊。请大家副座。亲爱的师尊，我们只有感恩师尊。师尊受解传法四季地，我们所有的慧命都是师尊赐给我们的，我们以最大的掌声感恩师尊。
I truly apologize because I wrongly confirmed a master which have harmed so many people.